Hello, good evening everyone. Welcome sa live. I was banned for I think almost a month because of my daughter accidentally do live. She accidentally pressed live in my cell phone and was posted. So the algorithm of YouTube halt my access to do live. But anyway, here again, I get back to do some live videos. Uh, I can only share what I know, what I heard, what I learned. So today, what happened is I went to hospital, one of the hospital that I always visit. Actually, today is a World Diabetes Day. So I met one of the doctors that haven't covered yet. So luckily, I got the number from the organizer of the event. I was able to talk to her and meet them all at once. Was able also to do a short product presentation, which is really good because of the attendees. Most of the attendees are diabetic. So by the way, my product is more on how to make diabetes management better, both from, of course, the doctors and mainly for the patients. So after that, I was able also to meet my colleagues, one of the medical rep, and one is the nutritionist. So we have a short meeting as well on how we can make our business better. Then after that, I drove from Ermita, Manila, going to Shangri-La Mall. I was able to set a meeting from one of the top doctors in Cardinal, and it was a fruitful discussion of what will happen to next week activity. And yeah, so after that, I was driving home now from Shangri-La EDSA, going back home to Laguna. I think 2.5 hours already in the road because of traffic. Because you all know when it's Friday, it's always traffic, especially when you're going for province. So I'm doing this live just because I was too sleepy, and I really want to share something for you guys. So the topic of our discussion or sharing for today is, since it's a World Diabetes Day, I'd like to share some few points that resonate to me and to my colleagues while we're listening to the speakers, which are those are doctors. So yeah, diabetes is very important that we know it by heart, especially when we have family members who have diabetes, because diabetes mainly can be acquired from your family history, of course the way your lifestyle, if you're eating too much, right? And if you have lifestyle, if you're not into healthy lifestyle, right? Okay, so there are three, if I remember it correctly, diabetes category or types. The first one is type 1. The type 1 is since you're young or even late diagnosis, you're there's a part of your body that cannot produce insulin. The reason why you have this diabetes, right? So it's not properly producing insulin. And the type 2 is the one that you acquired because of your lifestyle. And the third one is what we call the GDM, or the gestational diabetes mellitus. During pregnancy, they have this spike of sugar or uncontrolled glucose or sugar. So, from what I understand, insulin is the one that convert those sugar that we eat into energy, right? It is the key that allows the sugar go to become energy, to use to become energy for your body. So if your body doesn't have any insulin, the problem is those sugar that you eat stays in your blood, and that is the problem. Because if your blood have excess sugar or more sugar, definitely there will be complication. The blood flow is not normal because the blood is so thick due to excessive sugar. All right, so from what I remember and I understand, the normal blood sugar of a patient, or if a patient doesn't have any diabetes, it should be, for fasting blood sugar, it should be less than 100. For random blood sugar, meaning when you eat already, um, it should not go more than 126, right? You can comment if you would like to correct the value. So, but however, if you have diabetes already, the target range that is required for you to be still in control and manageable should be 70 to 180. And if you exceed 180, or let's say you go to 181 and above, that is considered as what we call hyperglycemia. And if your glucose is below 70, 69 going down, that is what we call the hypoglycemia, right? So what we want is your glucose should be on the target range, which is inside that 70 to 180 if you are a diabetic person or a person living with diabetes. But if you're not diabetic, you don't have diabetes, the random blood sugar should be 125 range, 70 to 70 to 125. And the fasting blood sugar should be less than 100 milligram per deciliter. All right, so those are the things that I remember. And it was also mentioned that the the first connotation or notion is, if you take metformin, it will destroy your kidney or the parts of your body. But based on the study, based on when you say study, it was done by numbers of patients, maybe different age, different category or types of diabetes. So according to those doctors, metformin is not really bad in terms of, you don't have to worry about, damaging some organs because of your taking metformin. What you have to consider is, whenever you take medication, you have to first consult your doctor. And when you consult your doctor, they will, the best is if they ask you to do some blood works, if they ask you to do some tests or laboratory tests, just do it so that they can really see what is the best medication that they can give to you. Because from I heard one of the doctors told me, told us during the lecture, is, there are also consideration in taking metformin, right? If your kidney, if you have a kidney failure already, definitely taking metformin might not be good. But if your kidney is still working fine, you can take metformin, and actually it helps the kidney uh, to become more healthy. Okay, so I think that that's what I understand from the doctors who gave their lecture to the patients. And yeah, so we're done with now the values of blood sugars to know if you're diabetic. So what the other one is, you can also do some HbA1c test. It's a it is a past 3 months of your glucose history, wherein there are also an exact percentage that you would like to maintain for you to consider as non-diabetic, or a person without diabetes. So based on my understanding, if you have 5.7 up, or 5.7 to 6, you're or 5.7, yeah, 5.7 to 6, you are in the pre-diabetes stage, meaning it can be reversible. Okay, I'm not sure about the 6, but I'm quite sure about 5.7, because 5.6% is the normal HbA1c of a healthy person. So that's also one of the consideration. Of course, if you want to get your HbA1c, you still need to do fasting blood sugar, right? The FBS, meaning you will not eat or even like a bite of cookie if you're taking this test, so it will not alter the result. Okay, so let me just check. Okay, all right, so okay, so one is FBS, the next one is HbA1c. So oh, yo Sigit Hardidi, hello, what's up? So the third one, the test that was always being asked, specifically for those who are pregnant, um, who have signs and symptoms of diabetes, or maybe well, it's being part already of the test that should be done for pregnant woman, is to check their sugar, right? But before they check the sugar, they will be asked to drink a glucose syrup before they take it. So they are different ranges as well. Yeah, you're from Indonesia. How are you? How's the weather there? What time is it in Indonesia? Yeah, so I'm just, sharing my ideas of what I captured today's activity. Bahasa Sina. Bro, I don't know how to speak Indonesian language. If you can do English, yeah, we can converse. We can have better understanding. Yeah. So I'm sharing about diabetes now, and you can comment if you have diabetes or your family have diabetes. We can, share those ideas. English. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, English. English. Yeah, English. Talking English, Sigit, so we can understand each other. Yeah, it's funny that this video can reach out to Indonesian people. I hope all the person watching here, you can comment down where you're from. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. So currently, right now, I'm driving here, and I think it's still part of Manila. I'm in Manila, Philippines. Uh, I'm doing this because I'm too sleepy. My wife is already sleeping, I think, and I need to talk while I'm driving, or else I'm gonna fall asleep. Yeah. So I think this is a good way of, you know, triggering my mind to talk about things. And of course, it helps you, the viewers, to know more a little bit of the topic, right? So, okay. Okay, let's move on to management. We're done about what's diabetes, how to diagnose diabetes. Oh, before management, we go for signs and symptoms, right? So, for the signs and symptoms, what I remember or what retained from the lecture is if you have diabetes, you will have this what they call polyphagia. If I'm correct, this you're always hungry, right? And then polyuria. This is in the medical term, that's polyuria, but in layman's term, that's you're always going to pee, always peeing or urinating, right? And the other one is polydipsia. Polydipsia is, I'm not sure if this is thirst. You can correct me. Yeah, I think one of the symptoms as well is always thirsty if you have diabetes. So also one is if you have a wound that's slowly healed or not, it's not getting better, it takes too long to heal, you might have diabetes, right? What else? If you have this dark complexion in your underarm or neck, all the like very tight places in your body, and it's dark, you thought it's dirt, a dirty part of your body, but it is the discoloration from your body due to diabetes. So those are some signs and symptoms that you can experience if you have diabetes. So what are the complications if diabetes is unmanaged or uncontrolled? So complications like heart attack, of course, immune system will go down, right? What else? There will be a lot of cost in terms of managing diabetes. If you have complication, you might go to dialysis, kidney failures, nephropathy, also blurring of vision. That is what we call retinopathy. Yeah, so those are the complications that might occur, that will occur if you don't manage your glucose properly. You don't hit those ranges more. The ranges we've talked about a while ago. That's a target range of 70 to 180 for those who have diabetes. What you want is to have 70% of the time to spend time to that range for the span of 24 hours, and that should be consistent for as long as you live. If you want to if you want to refrain from having complication. And there is a study that if you have 70% spent time in target range of 70 to 180, there's a corresponding value of 7% HbA1c. So the higher the target range goes, the lower there is a significant reduction of HbA1c. So what you really want is to stay on that range as long as you live, so that you will refrain from having complication. Okay, so beside metformin, there's a lot of medications that you can take, but you still need to consult your doctor. So we have insulin. If your kidney, your pancreas is not producing, converting glucose due to lack or absence of insulin, there is a bioequivalent insulin or human insulin that can be injected to help you regulate that sugar. And there's a lot of injectable medication such as SGLT2 or what they call Ozempic. There's a lot of those injectable medications that can be used to manage diabetes. And one that they captured a while ago is, if you're in insulin already, injecting insulin, don't think that if you feel better you will stop doing insulin. All right, you might lessen the insulin, or if your organ is producing insulin properly, then you can stop. And the only way to know if you will stop is to consult your doctor, right? And of course, the doctors will not just say, okay, you feel good, you can stop using insulin. They will ask you to do laboratories, some tests, so that it can confirm that your organs or your body can produce insulin that regulates your blood sugar. Okay, so very important to consult the doctor. And then one very useful tool if you have diabetes is to use a proper monitoring, right? Because monitoring is very important, right? Okay, let me just try this one. Okay, so I'll just put some question here. Okay, let me just, so that you can guys interact with the question. Oh. Okay, so I put a question and answer here. but something went wrong. Please try again. Anyway, if this will not push through, it's okay. I just hello MAGSBT and Moxico Karova. Are you guys a real person? Is this like a real, you know, audience or viewers? Can you please type something in the comments below so that I know you guys are real? Okay, this might be AI, just to feel, just to make us feel good, the one that who's doing live, because someone's watching. But if it's AI, you know what? It's okay. But I want to know if you guys are real. You can comment down below. All right. So the question is, do you know diabetes?